Okay, 13.3 is all about using a budget. Okay, so once you've completed a budget sheet outlining your past expenditures, you can use it to plan for future spendings. You may want to prepare a monthly expense summary to compare the amounts that you spend to the amounts that you budgeted, right? When you draft a budget, you should always include an emergency fund to provide for the unpredictable expenses, such as medical and repair bills. And I'm going to really bounce ideas off about this emergency fund, especially with this crisis going on. That's probably the most important one because if you're listening to the news, you'll hear a lot of people talk about people don't have enough reserves in the bank to cover themselves for a long period of time. So if something happens, like now, when people lose their jobs for a month or two, they don't have the necessary funds to continue paying their rent or mortgage. So it's very important to start that emergency fund. So right now, when we look at this, number one, Ed Wilson budgeted $274.34 for groceries in May. He actually spent $217. So budget is kind of like the maximum amount you're willing to spend. So how much more or less did he spend on groceries? Well, all we're going to do is take the budget amount, subtract the amount spent, right? To determine if it's positive, that means we spent less. If it's negative, that means we went over budget. So $274.34 minus $217.58 would give me $56.76. Okay. Number two, Ken Day budgeted $118.34 for gasoline purchases during August. He actually spent $93.95. Right? How much more or less did he spend on gas for the month than he had budgeted? Well, if I take the $118.34 I budgeted, subtract how much I spent, right? 118.34 minus 93.94 would give you $24.40. Okay. All right. Do me a favor, try 3 and 4. So for number 3, if you notice, when you take the amount you budget, right, and you subtract the amount you spent, you get negative $3.61. That means you went over budget by $3.61. Number 4, right, I'm going to take how much I budgeted, how much I spent, and when I subtract them, I get negative $4.87, which means I went over budget, right, by $4.87. Okay? So when we look at the Crosby expense summary to determine their budget, right? Number 5 says, did they spend more or less money, right, on the amount budgeted for groceries? If so, how much? Well, they budgeted $571.40. Subtract, they actually spent $631.90. And when we go ahead and subtract that, you should obviously see that they are over budget, okay? But by how much? Well, when I subtract, I get negative $60.50. So they are over budget by $60.50. Okay? Now, number 6, which household expenses for the month were more than the amount budgeted? So when I look at it, we could say groceries, right? When you look at electric, you were over. Cell phone bill, you were over. Natural gas, you were not. Water bill, you were over. And if I look at cable, that was equal. So we were good there. Okay. Number 7, did they spend more or less than the amount budgeted for household expenses for the month? So when we take our household expenses, the first thing we're going to do is add up how much did we budget, right? So what we're going to do is take all of these amounts and add them up. 571.40 plus 237.29 plus 56.81 . When you add those together, your budget for household expenses were $1,005.60. Now, how much did we spend? Okay. We spent $1,090.64. Well, when we actually go ahead and subtract these, you should know you're over budget by approximately, like say $80, $90, right? So right away you would get negative $85.04. So you're over by $85.04. Okay. So number 8, how much did they budget for transportation costs? Were the amounts spent for transportation during the month more or less than the amount budgeted, right? And by how much? Well, they anticipated a budget of, if I add those amounts together, the 131.57 plus 53, they budgeted $184.57, right? When I add the amounts I spent $158.45, right? So you are basically under budget. And if I go ahead and subtract, you are under budget by $26.12. Okay. So number 9, which personal expenditures for the month did they spend more than they budgeted? Clothing, they went way over. Credit card payment, they were good. Gifts, they went over. And pocket money, they went over. Were their total personal expenditures for the month more or less than the amount budgeted? Okay, so right away, their budget amount was $239.35. They spent $229.03. So they were under budget. And I would say they're under budget. You should be able to see that right away, about $10. It ends up being under budget by $10.32. Okay, so do me a favor, try 11, 12, and 13. Come back and check your answers. Okay, when you look at their total entertainment expenditures, right, you'll see their budget was $147. They spent $96.73, so they were under by $50.27. Okay, so for their fixed expenses, the only thing they went over was on savings, which is actually a really good thing. We're going to talk about that in a minute, a tad bit more. And when you look at their total expenditure for the month of July, you'll see they budgeted $2,469.82. They spent $2,493.17, which means they were over by $23.33. But the part I like about this budget is when you look at their savings, right? Their savings, they budgeted 50, right? So where's their savings? They budgeted 150, but they put away 175, which means, although they're over budget, their savings actually shows they actually did pretty well, right? Because they saved an extra $25 in the end. So do me a favor, go ahead, try the homework, and upload your answers, and let me know if you have questions.